The first scream didn't come from the boy who failed. It came from the exam room walls themselves, bending like something alive was pushing from the other side. And right there in the center of that shaking metal chamber stood the quiet kid everyone ignored. Rivan, eyes fixed on the floor, fingers twitching as if he was hearing something no one else could. Students whispered his name like it was a rumor, not a person. Nobody expected him to pass the Death World exam. Nobody expected him to survive even the first minute. But when the lights died and the floor split open, revealing a landscape that looked like a living, breathing nightmare, black sand pulsing, red storms twisting like serpents, Rivan finally looked up. And for the first time, every camera caught his eyes glowing faint silver, like something ancient had just awakened inside him. Even the instructors froze. Death World 7 was designed to break the strongest cadets, but the quiet kid stepped into it like he had been waiting for this moment his whole life. The storm winds roared, hurling shards of crystal that could slice bone, but the air around Rivan bent away from him, refusing to touch him. The observers thought it was a glitch, until the ground beneath him reacted, opening, reshaping, almost bowing. No one understood what they were watching. It wasn't survival. It wasn't instinct. It was dominance. One instructor whispered, "This exam isn't testing him. He's testing the world." What would you do if the quietest person you knew suddenly revealed something like this? Tell me below. And when the creatures finally crawled out of the crimson mist, silhouettes with too many limbs, and eyes that reflected fear instead of hunger, even they hesitated when they saw the boy, as if they recognized him, as if they remembered something terrible. Rivan didn't attack, didn't run. He just stood there on the black sand while the creatures circled him. Not like predators, but like guards waiting for orders. Every instructor watching froze. This wasn't possible. These monsters were programmed to shred anyone who hesitated, yet they lowered their heads, trembling. The largest one, a six-eyed skeletal beast, stepped toward him. Alarms blared. Cameras zoomed in. The creature should have ripped him apart, but instead it bowed. Rivan whispered something too soft for the mics to catch, and the monster collapsed at his feet like it had just met its king. "What is happening?" an instructor whispered. "Not the exam, him. The world is reacting to him." A spear of volcanic glass shot from the ground, aiming straight for Rivan's spine. He didn't even look. The spike curved away mid-air as if terrified to touch him. And then the sky turned red. Not normal red, but pulsing like a heartbeat. The entire landscape trembled, sensing something ancient waking up in the quiet kid. Rivan walked toward a jagged ridge, calm, almost familiar with this nightmare world. Every creature followed him like an army returning to its commander. When he touched the rock wall, a glowing white symbol burned itself into the stone, the same color as his eyes. From the control room, someone whispered, "He triggered a planetary imprint." But that's impossible. Rivan stared at the symbol, voice shaking. "I remember." But before anyone could understand what he meant, the ground exploded. A Titan climbed out, huge, metallic, alive, and definitely not part of the exam. Engineers screamed. Systems overloaded. The simulation wasn't malfunctioning. Something living had entered it. The Titan swung its blade arm, a strike powerful enough to cut a house in half. Rivan didn't move. He lifted one hand, calm, exhausted, and the monster froze in midair like time itself obeyed him. "Stand down," Rivan whispered. The Titan sank back into the fissure like a child obeying its parent. The sand calmed. The fog retreated. The world went silent. Rivan looked straight at the hidden cameras. "Why did you bring me here?" The moment the Titan disappeared, the exam world changed. The red storm easing, the ground steadying, as if the planet was finally breathing with him, not against him. Rivan stepped back, staring at his own hands like they belonged to someone else. His fingers were shaking, glowing faint silver, fading slowly. Like whatever woke up inside him was slipping back into the dark. Far above, in the control room, chaos erupted. "Lock the chamber. Shut the system down. We need containment protocols, now." But the director didn't move. His eyes stayed glued to the screen. "No, look at him. He's not attacking. He's afraid." And he was.